Hey, Sister Ruby, happy birthday to you. I hope that you have a wonderful, memorable, out of this world birthday as you deserve to be celebrated for who you are and what you have done in this life as you serve others. I hope that your day is filled with nothing short of beautiful, amazing memories, joy and love. I just want to tell you again, happy birthday to you. I didn't want to start this video without acknowledging your birthday. I hope that you have safe travels to and from wherever you're going. And honey, enjoy yourself. So the next part of this video is kind of leading into your comments, Sister Ruby. Honey, the Lord knows I felt your heart because I've thought the same thing as recently as last week. And my thought line of thinking was the following. What is the purpose of the church if it's just falling apart because of hurt? What is the purpose of it if no one respects it, no one appreciates it, no one wants to be there? And I had this gentle reminder because I was like, no one respects the institution, purpose, and function of the church. People forgot that they are the church. They are forgetting they're going whoring after different gods. And this came to mind so gentle. How did you expect for it to look when I separate the chaff from the wheat? Did you expect for that to increase numbers when I have to separate the chaff from the wheat? And the wheat are truly the harvest, my people. So, what we're dealing with right now, I realized the formulation of those people who are set apart. We can no longer see them intermingle. True people of God who love God do not run and think they can just go off rookshot, do their own, create their own religions, make God a universal word to cover all, catch all, like the drawer in some people's kitchen. That's not who he is. God specializes in details. He's very specific. He's very deliberate. And this is a time people are being proven what they believe and how they'll lean because what they're doing has always been in them. Okay. It was always there, and two things could have happened. One, they could have went through the process of God encouraging them, revealing to him what he wants them to know, who they are, what they need, everything, who he is to them, how he loves them. They could have went through that process, right? Of God formulating this relationship with God that is led by true leadership. Or two, something else can happen in those instances. People would move to disbelief. Now, people wondering like, oh, there's no consequences for them preachers and pastors. Well, that's not true. We see throughout the Bible there are stern, open, never changed warnings for leaders who lead people astray. They have blood on their hands, which is the equivalent of unaliving someone. And we see in the very first laws that were given to man out of the mouth of God and written by the hand of God that you're not supposed to unalive someone. Now, these leaders are responsible for unaliving souls. Yeah, that fell away. So these are things that are punishable, deemed punishable by God. And people sometimes take things out of context. And what I mean by that, they think everything will happen once we all pass away and then go to heaven and then judged at the pearly gates. Again, that goes back to poor teaching. Judgment can be executed at any time, any day, anywhere, anyhow, he wants it to happen. Once you are out of his will completely and you have blood on your hands, you are now operating 100% under mercy, and mercy does not function the same way as grace. It doesn't, honey. Huge differences. Huge differences. And we're in a time we're seeing particular things taking place. It's very clear that something has been unleashed, especially in the United States. No one cannot sit here and not look around you and realize people's sins have found them out. You're seeing how sin shape people's mind and behavior. Because in their heart, they always felt like, I do what I want to do. God gonna give me what I want anyway. I ain't got to go to church to get that. I can do that by myself. We're seeing people mingle karma with reap what thou shalt sow. We're seeing people, intermingle a lot of different belief practices along with that word, trying to tell people, they're all the same. All of these things are the mind of the Antichrist. Anything against Christ is the Antichrist. People keep thinking it's gonna ride up in a Harley and with some red horns or something and a nice leather jacket on, and with the big S on the back or a big L on the back or a big B on the back. You understand? That's not how it goes. It is in the mind. It's in the mind. If you think about it, Lucifer came up with an idea. He decided, and it starts with a thought. That's where it started in their thinking. The mark of the beast, it is how these people are thinking, how they perceive Christ, how they perceive God, how they perceive the word, and most importantly, how they perceive salvation. These jokers believe that as soon as they came in this world, butt bone naked, they immediately, I'm God's child. I'm blessed. You can't judge me, but God surely can and has, because He has allowed them to walk around with their minds sealed with a hot iron, as He said He would do. That didn't happen when they went to heaven. They were walking around day in, day out. He didn't say that happens after they leave. That's why you're here. And you can't tell me looking around, sitting there even for 15 minutes on TikTok, and tell me you didn't know and you didn't recognize it. No, it don't. Honey, I can tell you this now. Uh, this was, oh wow. This was almost 3 years ago, or 3 years ago. And I have this dream, and I told you all this dream about, I didn't tell you another part of it, but I'll tell you now. I had this dream about all of these men, and they were shackled and they were bound, and they were all getting on this tour bus, or looked like a tour bus or something. And I mean, they were going back as far as my eye could see. I could see the tops of their head. And so when I walked up to this man who was there, like a correctional officer or something, and I said, well, where are they going? I want to go, because where we were at, it was so sandy. The water was so pretty. I saw palm trees and everything. And he said, you don't want to go where they're going. Hold on one second. I'll cut this off. He said, you don't want to go where they're going. And I said, okay. I could just feel in my spirit when he said that. I just replied with, okay. So then I saw where they were going. It was like a little hole in the ground or something. And so I went to the hole, and I went down in there, and apparently it was a cave. I hadn't crawled down in. And then I had on like scaffolding gear or something, like what you have on for rock climbing. And so I was perched up on this ledge, and I could look down, and looking down was extremely deep. I mean, it was far down. Like I expected to see everything like ants or something, and I did. It was hot. It was red. It was things I will not describe that were disturbing that I saw, and perverted that I saw. And some things were so appalling with animals, I never thought a human would do. But clearly down there they do. But in the middle of this place, they had this massively long stripper pole that went to the ground, like over the outside of the cave. Like the pole just kept running up in a normal place where I was at with all the sand and stuff. And I said, so getting on that pole, you slide right down the hill. And I'm not kidding you. I saw this man with leather boots on, and they were long leather boots, and it just was weird. And it was a man, and he slid right to hell. He slid right to hell. So not long after that, that is when Lil Nas X came out with some weird song. I don't even remember the name of the song of him pole dancing to hell, number one. Number two, the part when the snake, he was asleep and the snake was coming around him, and like the snake was talking to him, and then it left or whatever, like it opened his mind, it gave him revelation. That is true. Why? Because I saw that in a dream too, and I never told anybody this. I saw that part too. And the revelation that came to me is this is how he communicates with them. It does give them a form of revelation and information. But that's not my revelation and information because it doesn't come off of a tree. It comes through me. Now that was so deep that I knew for a fact I wasn't going back to bother those people who were getting on that truck and driving down there. They need to go ahead and go down there by themselves. I'm not going. But as I was coming out, these two people, kids, it was people. They say, now you can't come back down here no more. We only let you see a little bit. You can't come back down here no more. If they catch you, you will be in trouble. So in the dream, I understand the ground just closed. Like first it was rocks, then sand just breezed right over it. Like it was never there in the first place. Like it was never there. And I'm saying this for a reason. These people are getting information, but it is not God's revelation. There's power in us being together and praying together, praying for one another. Instead, they want to manifest. You have women who created a Facebook group. I didn't believe this until someone showed it to me. They practice what is considered vaginal magic. Yeah, they use their lady parts to manifest things that they want. Yeah, it's like that. And what I'm getting to is, by the Lord reminded me last week, how did you expect for it to look when I separate the wheat from the tare? And then I remembered too, he had to separate things when he said separate the sheep from the goat. He's always separating things. So it's very clear who his choice who they are and what they are. He has always, all throughout the Bible, made it very clear that there is a clean, distinct line, and you will see and understand the difference between my people and something else that I've rejected and I have no parts of. God does not play like that. He makes it very clear. I don't have nothing to do with that over there. I will take care of it. I will handle it. And the reason why he takes care of it and handle it is because those people began attacking his people. That's why they get manhandled, because he understands they're a threat to everything he desires for his people. So they have to be dealt with. That is a form of God's protection. I can't tell you how many people I see flat out how people don't want to hear all that religious stuff. Christians too religious. Listen, I don't mean no harm. A non-believer can't tell me how I get down in my faith, honey. No, Anyone who has a problem with the word, honey, you can't tell me what to do about my faith. Just like I can't tell you what to do as an atheist, agnostic, and get me, Mammonite or anything else you choose to be. We not on the same page, team. or beliefs. So I can't tell you how to be a Mammonite. You can't tell me how to be a Christian. Yeah. So I say all that for a reason. This shaking and separating was and is necessary. Because I'm telling you, believers, they are trying to find a way to get back in church. They're trying to find a way. And I am noticing, oh, wow, that is deep. I'm noticing that those that truly love God, truly desire God, are having the hardest time getting back to the church. And they want to be there. And stuff keep coming up, the job, kids, circumstances, transportation, different things keep coming up that that's obstructing them from getting there to be able to worship. And no one knows about it. Wow, that is deep. It's not just falling away, but you have people fighting, trying to get back in the sanctuary, praying for transportation just so they can be able to have a transportation to be able to get to the edifice, get to the church. Because anyone with good sense, uh, just watching online ain't enough. uh, there is a difference. That's like saying, you know what? We'll just watch what goes on at the temple from the from the computer, or from the tablet, or from the phone. And imagine if the priest said that. Nah, we ain't gonna go. Nah, we're not gonna go back in the temple. I'm gonna go ahead and do this from a computer or a phone or something for you. Would you trust that? People forget the value of being there in uh corporate worship. At least we know better as we strive to do better and be better. That's all we can do, sis. That's all we can do. And now the focus, it is the following: cover my sheep. Y'all have a good one.